I'm Yukari Yanagisawa. I'm 24 this year, still 23 years old. In Japanese. 私の名前は柳沢ゆかりです。今年24歳です。My home, like not place, not area of like hometown, like my home buildings is I feel like I've been living my life as just I live. Like at each point I had some specific dream and I try to follow it, but like dream was changing too as I changing. So that like I think I've been doing my best for each point, but I don't know, like there are some people who strongly follow their settled dreams to be like, banker or that kind of like serious job. But like for me, because I think quite early I became like the student who cannot go to the school, so I kind of knew that life doesn't go what you want to or what you expect to, so I just did my best at each point. At each point I did what I can do for the best, and I think I'm gonna continue it. I think I cannot change my way to live anymore. Yeah, I think what I emotionally attached the most is nature. That's why I think my home is home, because there are huge gardens. Because my parents asked gardeners to come like twice a year, so that it was always clean, like tidy. So like not wide that much, like more park thing. But because after I stopped going school, I was into films, and when I watched Into the Wild, I loved it. Like I've always having the feeling that I want to escape from human society. So that like from that point I love really wild nature too. But like from the perspective of wabi-sabi, I think I prefer park nature, that kind of very tidy, like maintained nature. So wabi-sabi is, I think, basically it's nostalgia for you guys, or like more spiritual emotion, like. But I think even within Japanese people, I think the opinion would be different. What wabi-sabi is. But for me, it's something spiritual, that like there something must be exist, but we cannot see, and but it's more powerful than human. So that's why I think I feel wabi-sabi more in nature. Because when I was staying in home, like I was kind of very ill, so that I couldn't get, I didn't want get any attention from the someone, so that I couldn't go outside. But like my home has a lot of windows, so that I could see nature from inside.
Do you think that maybe was something that kind of helped you through? Like, what do you think it was that gave you strength to like keep going? Because it's almost like you were trapped, and it's kind of like the outside world is like at your fingertips, but you can't take it. And like sometimes people have things that help them change, or it was like the thought of something kind of brought them through.
Time, my mom, and I just fed up being inside. I think those three is the reason how I get over my depression. No, like basically I didn't depress that much. That I just couldn't. I just obsessed to be clean. So that like, sometimes someone said I want to die or something. Their emotional power from inside is sometimes much stronger than those who just live. So I think I'm that kind of person. Like even though I sometimes say I want to die, it doesn't mean I don't have any power inside. I think the reason why I said I get depressed is because I have a power to get depressed. So if you don't have any power, you don't even get depressed. You just live. You just continue to live. I think there are no right or wrong thing, It's all the way of perspective and where to put the sense of values. So, yeah. I have basically my mom's friend. At the point I started to believe the life after, the world after death, was there was a lady. She was my mom's friend, and her life was kind of very sad. She was so nice lady. Like she kind of sacrificed herself to raise her children, something. But so basically to make story short, I think her life was kind of sad, although she was so nice person. So that I wanted to believe she gonna have different life, or she gonna be happy the world after death. Otherwise that's too sad. And I took her as an example, but I of course there are a lot of people who never felt happy through their life, but they died, like in the developing countries. So that, like, that's too sad if there is only this world, this life. So that I believe, I just decide to believe the circle of life and the world after this. So that, like, when my dad has passed away, I bought a earrings that how do you call it, stairs, which
A spiral staircase?
yeah, spiral stair, like which form spiral stair, that, like, because I put hope on it to meet my dad again, anywhere, anytime after. And like for like general safety thing, Japan has better society, I think. But you know, mentality for girls, like women discrimination. It's a huge problem, I think. Like, it's huge problem in Japan, but the point is they don't think it's huge problem. That's why I don't expect it gonna be better. So basically, not system of women's status is behind, but the perspective for women is so behind in Japan. And I think so here women tend to take responsibility to make the status, like positions, equal. But Japan, girls tend to use them as a sexual object. So like obviously Asian girl is not weak, which like Asian fetish guys expect us to be weak, but actually it's that we are not weak, but use it. It's kind of one of the way to be strong, but obviously it's not equal, or like they don't think about taking responsibility. So that's the problem. So I don't know from which point to which point I can say it's culture, and I can from which point to which point I can say it's wrong. I don't know. I think I want to have a conversation about politics or immigration, obviously, or like some academic thing, I'd say. But I think in Japan, I don't know, my sister and her boyfriend has that kind of conversation, I think. But in Japan, basically, it's kind of not only about relationship, but like whole friendship, relationship, family. Like it's said that the taboo topic to have, or like the topic which gonna destroy the relationships is politics, religion, and like faith. thing you believe. So that but I want to talk these things with my boyfriend, my friend, and I think that's why Japan is now getting behind again. It's necessary to talk about it, to develop the country. But I think generally Japanese girls, I don't know, I think people tend to want, like, what Japanese girls thinks that's good relationship if they can laugh together, share hobbies, or obviously, like, you know, share value, sense of values. But I don't think they're gonna build that kind of relationship by talking about those three, but about like TV programs or like the environment around them, like friendship they have or work, that kind of thing. So that's less topic, I feel like I want to talk everything basically. I think this is the point of this topic, that you cannot have any specific point which makes you Japanese or British. That even though I'm Japanese, I can understand 100%. And even though you're British, you know those who don't like crabbing. So that like, it totally depends on the person. Like people kind of put pressure on each other to be punctual. So that like, if the class starts at 1, most of people gather just 10 minutes before or something. So that I think the specific nations like, it's not Japanese personality, I think it's nation's personality, it's country's personality. So obviously I got rules since I came here, so that like I'm not punctual that much now. But like, you know, obviously like my friends who already work, or like my mom, my sister, they are so punctual. So I think society makes you that nation's personality. So again, generous to each other, so that, and again 100%前. So that if you are late, even though your friend says, oh, that's fine, no worries, I worry if they think bad thing about me inside. And you know, this world nowadays, so it's very global. People tend to hate stereotype and to generalize people. But like, I hate stereotypes, but I believe there's a tendency so that like it happens. You know, society, it's society we are living in, so there must be tendency. But like, you know, tendency doesn't mean 100% thing. So that like there must be exception makes, you know, diversity. So basically, like, you know, non-diverse society brings good thing, but also bad thing, like that. I hate it. Like we should see people's personality, not outlook. Like I know a lot of foreigners who sucks, but like being popular in Japan. Like when I was walking a street in Shibuya, like I've heard that some boys talking like, which girl are we gonna get tonight or something like that. But actually they can do it in Japan. It's fact. So, and I don't think Japanese people makes themselves lower than white people, but Japanese people sometimes use white people to make their status higher. Like, so I think obviously to have white boyfriend, girlfriend is kind of cool in Japan. It happens to me and my sister.
You look them both.
Like when I was at junior high, I was exactly same as her in junior high. Mixed, I guess. Like I'm mixed of all of family member, basically. Not my mom, my dad, but like my sister and my brother, especially for personality. But like I'm look like my sister the most. My family admit it.